I was going to issue a warning that unless we made some bold decisions, we could see another mass shooting here in Colorado within the next 5 years. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1299.
Okay, to the bill. Who would like to speak first?
We have no.
Representative Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today is the 460th Friday since my son Alex was murdered in the Aurora Theater massacre, along with Matt McGuinn and 10 others. Last week, when this bill was debated in committee, it was the 2-year tragiversary of the STEM school shooting. Many will think that STEM was the first school shooting here in Colorado since Columbine on March 20th, 1999. But in fact, we've had at least 3 other shootings since then. Many will think that the actions that we are talking about today are solely as a result of the Boulder King Soopers mass shooting, that it was the first mass shooting in the state since the Aurora Theater shooting. In fact, since July 20th, 2012, there have been over 40 mass shootings in the state where 4 or more people have been shot, injured, or killed. I was preparing my personal talking points that I could commit to memory recently so that I'm always ready, to answer questions when I'm asked. I've memorized dates and names, places, events. I know bill titles, voting results. I can see in my mind's eye the smiles and the faces of all those we greatly will miss. I was ready to connect Columbine to the theater. I would say it was 13 years between those 2 shootings, and how it was just less than 9 years between Aurora and Boulder. I was going to issue a warning that unless we made some bold decisions, we could see another mass shooting here in Colorado within the next 5 years. I had no idea that it would only take 7 weeks. That is why I am asking for your support in the passage of House Bill 1299. We have a gun violence problem here in our state. I believe that making life-saving and cost-saving investments in evidence-based violence prevention and intervention programs will lead us to meaningful reductions in gun deaths in our state. State-level support is essential when it comes to educating the public about existing laws already on the books, like ERPO, the magazine limits, lost and stolen, plus safe storage of firearms. Leveraging existing resources while being a clearinghouse for all efforts statewide to reduce gun violence is job number 1 for this office. Since no other state has an office similar to this, we will be the models others will want to follow. When a national office is set up in D.C., which is being talked about, but as we all know, takes time, the way that they work, we will be established and then first in line to apply for grant programs and resources from the feds. We will know, because we're going to know what's needed. Housing this office in the Department of Public Health puts us in every conversation when it comes to mental health awareness and how that works hand in hand with reducing gun violence. Taxpayers spend over $229 billion a year on the effects of gun violence. That's up from just over $16 billion during the year of the Columbine shooting. Recently, a study claimed that a single gun homicide cost taxpayers $464,000, and those costs keep going up. We will be able to draw from programs that have proven results in other states, plus publicize ideas that show promise in one part of the state to the entire state. Data collection will be essential to this office, as well as working with researchers within our state to look for answers to the question, why here in Colorado? So, if I couldn't believe that there already wasn't a program like this in Colorado, and I wanted to help reduce gun violence, I would vote for this bill. If I had heard from a community that it was a daily struggle to keep young men of color from being subjected to gun violence, and I wanted to do all I could to help them, I would vote for this bill. If I believed that mental health was the key component of gun violence, and I saw that the Office of Gun Violence Prevention was being housed in the Department of Health, I would vote for that bill. If I was curious as to what the root cause of gun violence was, an office that did nothing 24/7 other than look for causes and hopefully come up with answers, I would vote for this bill. Following the Boulder shooting, before we had our morning prayer, it's right up here. One of us stood up there and said, we must take responsibility for what happened. Boy, I was really hopeful when I heard that. And I'm still hopeful today. And I hope that we can find reasons within House Bill 1299 to act with courage and responsibility. And I ask for your vote on 1299.